Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we're joined by the Atom AG65 and we're going to talk about common mistakes people make when fitting a rucksack. There's nothing worse than having a rucksack that doesn't fit correctly. You're going to know about the weight that's on your back and you're going to be uncomfortable for your entire walk and not enjoy what you set out to do. There's a few mistakes people make when they're first using their rucksack, and we're going to go over those today. The first tip happens when you are buying your rucksack, whether that's in-store or online. It's easy to get caught up in the size of your rucksack and the features it holds and not think about the comfort and the fit. One of the big things with rucksacks nowadays is they come in different back lengths. In front of me here we have the Atom AG65 and we currently have a small medium here. This also comes in a large, extra large, just like a number of their other rucksacks. The reason you'd look at this is if you're a little bit shorter, you'd go for your small medium. You've got adjustments on the back of this rucksack that allow you to slide up and down between small and medium. And I think there's about 4 or 5 adjustment points on there. If you're taller than the maximum size of this bag, you'd be moving up into the large, extra large. And again, there are a certain number of adjustments on the back which allow you to get it perfect for yourself. I am 5'8" and I take a small medium, maybe a large, extra large in some of their packs, but mostly a small medium, and I'm adjusted almost the full back length on that one. So it's really important that you look at that when you're buying your rucksack. If you don't get that right, then the hip straps aren't going to sit on your hips and the shoulder straps aren't going to sit on your shoulders. If it's too big, the shoulder straps will sit too high and you won't be placing any weight on your shoulders. And if you go too small, you'll find the hip belt rides up onto your waist and isn't sitting in the correct position. So really important thing to look at. When you come into the store, we're more than happy to help you fit a rucksack. Just give us a shout. And if you're buying online, Osprey do a really good measuring online system where you can measure your back length from your hips to the top of your shoulders, and you'll be able to get a rough size. And then it's a case of trying it home before you take it outside, make sure it's right, put a bit of weight in it and just wear it around the house. Tip number 2 is a nice, quick and easy one, and that is that any strap that isn't padded is not considered load bearing. There's a number of straps on the bag, but the main one that people get wrong is the chest strap. This strap is simply here to stop the bag pulling back on your shoulders and doesn't need to be done up really, really tight. You don't need to wrench that as tight as it will go. You need to clip it in, adjust it till it's just snug, and then just leave it. And that will just stop the bag slipping off your shoulders and off your back, and it releases a bit of the tension there. Very simple thing, but very important. So tip 3 is using all of the tools at your disposal. These new packs have loads and loads of different options when it comes to fitting, and loads of different adjustment points. And it's very easy to throw your bag on, adjust the 2 obvious ones, hip belt and side straps, and be done with it. But these bags do have a number of other ones. The Atmos, for example, has velcroed hip belts and also shoulder straps, which allows you to adjust the length so you can have the padding come down further or across your waist further. Adds another level of comfort and also makes it a nicer experience to wear. It's going to help with the load as well. But you also have tensioning straps all over the bag, which, although aren't necessary to help with the fit, they will help with where the weight sits. So if you haven't filled your bag, if you pull these in tight, it will pull the weight into your back, which will make it a slightly nicer experience to carry. If you let these loose and the weight all sort of flops to the front of the bag, it's not going to be as nice to carry. The weight's going to be pulling you backwards. It's going to be sitting off your back, which is not where we want the weight to be. And we'll come on to that a little bit later with another point. But you've also got things like your top shoulder straps, which just help pull the weight in and up rather than having, again, the top of the bag pulling you backwards. And you're going to also have straps on the front as well here. If you're not using them, clip them all up. There's nothing worse than that hanging down. It's going to really frustrate you. Clip them up, tie them up, and then you haven't got to worry about those as well. So make sure you use all the features that are available to you. Make sure when you put this bag on, it's not just a quick throw it on the beginning of the day and do the 2 obvious straps up. Take a second, reset yourself. You might not be packing your bag exactly the same as you did last time, so it's worth just having a look at these little tensioning straps, giving them a tug and making sure they're all in the right place, and then you're ready to go. Our next and most common mistake would be where the hip belt sits on you. So a common mistake is to have the hip belt sat above your waist, so up here across your sort of lower stomach. And what you really want to be doing is sitting that a little bit lower, so it sits on your iliac crest, which is this hip bone that's just here. That's going to be a much more comfortable carrying position. It's going to sit a lot nicer, and it's also not going to restrict you across your chest when you're walking. So that's a really, really good tip to follow, is making sure that waistband is properly seated on that iliac crest, so the weight is nicely distributed to your lower body as well. And our 5th and final tip is a little bit different. It's not necessarily about the fit of the pack, but it does make a lot of difference to how the pack feels when it's on your back, and that is packing it correctly. We've done a video where we talk you through what we pack for an overnight camp and also how to place it in the bag, so I'll definitely link to that just above me. But just to go over it quickly, what you want is the weight sat to as close to your back as possible. So obviously if you're loading the bag up and you're putting all your heavy items down this front side, it's not going to be as comfortable. It's going to pull you back and the weight is going to sit a lot further off your back. So what you want to try and do is put all the weight as close to your back as possible. So all your heavy items are as close to your back as you can possibly get them. This is going to make a big difference to the fit of the bag, but it's also going to make a big difference to how it feels when you're carrying it. It's going to be a lot more comfortable. And although it's not necessarily a fitting tip, it's something that's definitely going to change the feel of the bag and how comfortable it is. So it's worth getting right, worth taking a second just to look at how you're packing your bag and make sure it's the most efficient way to do it and also the most comfortable way to do it. So that was 5 really quick tips on how to improve the fit of your bag. Some of those are about fit and some of them are just about how to get your bag a little bit more comfortable, as we spoke about just a second ago. If you've liked the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe, it really helps us out. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them down below and we will see you next week.